we'll go into live extract, and then we'll have to go and extract. So refresh all extracts. This is the way by which it will refresh all the extract values. Okay. So now you see that since this was not in the data source, we don't have this row, but it's appearing in extract. So for that, we'll go over here to refresh all extracts. It's asking me, okay, which one? So it's saying me that the following extract will be refreshed. I'm saying, okay, refresh it. So it refreshes it for me, and then let's see what happens. So bingo, this last row has been removed. So this is how you'll refresh your data which has been loaded in the extract workbook of Tableau. So in case it's a live connection, simply go over here and refresh. In case it's an extract connection, go in the data and use refreshed extract connection, and that would work for you. Just a second, we'll go over here, we'll go to data, and we'll go to refresh all extracts. Okay, and then it gives you an option, and then you select that and you do a refresh. So I hope this live and extract connection is clear to you. So if it is, let's move to our next topic, which is the kind of data types which are available in Tableau. So basically there are 6 kinds of data types available in Tableau. I'll walk you through each of them. Let me go back to my Tableau workbook. Now let me change the data source. I was using analytics, jobs and salaries. Now I also have the sample superstore data source. So I'm switching over to that data source. So you can see over here in the same Tableau workbook, I can have multiple data sources and I need not connect them. So I can keep them independently. I can keep them separately, and at the end when I'll be creating dashboards, I can fetch data from each of these data sources, and which are independent of each other, and then visualize them together. So this is one of the very good features of Tableau workbook, that you can have multiple data sources at the same time, and you need not establish relationship between them. Okay, so over here if you check the various fields which I have in sample superstore dataset, you will see there are 6 types of fields. First is categorical field, which is also known as measures, which are nothing but the categories or the various fields which have alphabetical or the categorical values. Like countries have names, cities also have names. Like so, category, this is furniture, office supplies, and technology. These are 3 categories. So all the data records fall in any one of these 3 categories. So this data type is known as categorical, or you can say it's dimension. This data source is known as dimension. And then we have a numerical data source, which is also known as a measure, which is nothing but the numbers which are there. Okay, the numerical values. Then the third data source is of location. These cities, these countries, they have a particular geographical location, so they are known as geofields. Then the fourth type of field is the date field. We have got this date over here. This is the date field. Then the fifth kind of field which I have is the date and time field. So I'll create a date and time field for you right away, and then I'll show you how it looks like. So let me go to the data source. Yeah, so instead of going to data source and changing, I can change it right away over here also. Since this is only a date field, it has got only date. If I find another date field and I would like to add supposedly in ship date field, I would like to have the time as well. So supposedly this field has been converted into date and time. So this is the fourth kind of field where both date and time are available. And then the fifth kind of field is a Boolean field, which we'll be seeing soon when we'll be implementing our dashboards. So to summarize, we have got 6 kinds of fields in Tableau. First is categorical, which is also called as dimensional field, where we get the dimensions. Then is numerical, which is also known as measure, like this, which is a numerical field. Then comes the geographical field, which has a symbol like this globe. Then comes the date field, which gives us the date. Then comes the date and time field, which has got, along with calendar, it has got a small watch over here. Apart from these 5 fields, we also have a Boolean field, which is basically just a yes or no sort of thing. So I'll show you the symbol. If I convert it into Boolean field like this, the symbol, this is a Boolean field symbol. However, since this is a categorical field, so for boolean it will be giving null. So I'll convert it back to what it was. I'll just click over here and I'll say convert it to default. Since it was categorical, it has appeared. So I think you got a basic idea that what different 6 kind of data fields we have in Tableau. Using these data fields only, we perform all the manipulations in Tableau. Then apart from these data fields, now we'll see that how to view data in Tableau. So before even adding a data source into our workbook, we can have a look into the data source. So these are the 3 sheets which are available in our Excel workbook of sample superstore. Now if I would like, before I have down already loaded orders and returns sheets into my data source. If I before loading the people, I would like to view what kind of data it has. Over here I get an option to view the data, so it opens a pop-up window for me, so I can see that what kind of data values are there in this sheet. So before loading, I can check and see whether I would like to load this into my Tableau workbook or not. So this is how you can view a data source details before even loading it into your Tableau workbook. I hope it's clear. Next, we'll see the various methods for renaming, copying, and splitting a column. These are all the part of column formatting. So in our data source tab, these are the column names. Now if I would like to perform various operations, if I would like to rename these column fields, if I would like to rename category to say cat, okay, I can do that. Okay, and if I would like to reset back it to its previous name, I can do that as well. Okay, so it has reset back to the previous one. Now, apart from this, if I would like to split my column, I can do that, but I'll have to specify a delimiter. So in the customer ID, you see that there is a CG and then there is a number, and the splitter is this hyphen sign. So this column I can split. Okay, I am saying that please split this column for me. So in split, it automatically decides that what by default can be the separator. Okay, so I'll do a custom split since it could not see that what can be the separator. Okay, and I'll do a hyphen sign over here, and I would say that okay, do it for me. Basically, when I did the split, this customer ID got splitted into 2 separate columns. One had these alphabets and one had these numbers. This has been moved to the last place, I guess. Yeah. So this is the customer ID. HR got split into 2 separate columns. One has got the alphas before hyphen sign. One has got the numbers after the hyphen sign. So in this way, you can even split a column. You can specify a particular separator. Now we'll see another example. Supposedly, let's try to split the column order ID. So I have got this order ID. I'll go over here, try to custom split it. Okay, using hyphen only, and I would like to split all of them. Now, since these are 3, it can ask that would you like to split only the first one, or the last one, or all of them. So let's split only the first one. We'll see that these alphabets and the numbers will be separate. Let's do the first one. Okay, and apply. Okay, so you see that the order ID, it has got split, and this is the since we had said only the first part, so only the first characters of this order ID have been removed, which is this. Now, if we'll try to split it using the hyphen, but if I would like to split them all, then it would create 3 separate columns for me corresponding to order ID. Let's move to the end and check. So corresponding to order ID, it has, this was created previously only, this new and this based on the latest split we did. The single column of split ID has been split into 3 parts, and they have been separated using hyphen. So I think the various operations which we can perform on columns are clear to you. So apart from splitting the columns and renaming them, we also have an option to copy the column values, or for that matter, we can copy the entire dataset which we have. So if I would like to copy the particular column, say category, first of all, I'll rename it to what its previous name was, category. Now, if I want to copy all its values, I'll just press copy values. I'll go to the Excel sheet where I would like to place these values. Okay. Supposedly, it is the sample store data that I have. Now, over here in this sheet, if I would like to add Now over here in this sheet, if I would like to add one more column where I can paste the value of category, I can do that. See, I had copied it from there and I can easily control means what all I copied over here, I just wrote control V and all the values got copied. So I would remove it as of now since I don't want to copy, it's already there. Let's move back to our Tableau worksheet. So these were the few operations we could perform on the columns within the data source tab. That is renaming the columns, splitting the columns based on some pasting conditions, and then copying the column values. We can also copy the entire data set and paste it at the location we want. Next, we see the measure names and values. So basically, whenever we are importing a data set into the Tableau worksheet, along with that, 5 new fields are created by default, which is measure names and latitude, longitude, number of records, and measure values. So all of these are generated by default whenever we are importing a data source value into our Tableau worksheet, and the way of understanding, like the way of identifying that which 5 are the fields which have got auto generated when we had imported the data set into the Tableau worksheet are these 5 fields. They are having font as italic, so it's a field generated containing names of each measure. Okay, so these 5 fields: measure names, measure values, number of records, latitude and longitude, are automatically generated. And the best way of understanding the fields which are automatically generated are they are having a font as italics. Now we'll see their relevance for each of them. So this field number of records, it directly gives us the count. It directly gives us the count that in our entire data set these are the number of rows. Now if I would like to see compare them based on some value I have, supposedly I would like to see them based on this segment. Okay, if I say segment, then in segment wise if I go, then based on number of records in customer, the total number of records which you have segment as customer are these. The total number of records in our data source which have segment as corporate are these, and the total number of records in our dataset which have segment as home office are these. So this number of records, this automatically generated field helps us by automatically counting the number of records in the data source. And if we along with it, if we have to check it for a particular dimension, we can easily do that. So it helps us count the number of values, the number of records in each category or in each dimension. I hope it's clear.